$100,000 an hour speaking gigs. Well, I'm here to tell you she is not taking long getting back to work, raking in the cash because she has landed.
Okay, so guess what? Caitlin Clark just landed her first speaking gig of the off-season, and she didn't even wait for the season to cool down before locking in another paycheck. And here's the thing. While half the WNBA is stressing over CBA drama, Clark's out here securing off-season opportunities like it's nothing. The league? They're looking a little nervous about it. Honestly, she's not chasing rebounds anymore. She's chasing those big money microphones. So it makes you wonder, is the WNBA upset or just plain jealous? Because seriously, this woman does not rest. While everyone else is arguing about leadership, potential lockouts, and where Commissioner Cathy Engelbert disappeared to, Caitlin's signing speaking deals, yeah, not just endorsements, actual
money to do unrivaled. She's landing $100K to speak to speak for companies and represent companies all over the country. She's not hurting for cash, and I just think this is just the coolest thing ever that Caitlin Clark is able.
We're not talking about some local school assembly here, okay? No, this is full-blown corporate-level business conference stuff. The kind of speaking gig that pays around $100,000 a pop. Remember last off-season, when the internet lost its mind after reports came out that Caitlin Clark's speaking rate was in the six figures, like $100,000 an hour? Everyone laughed at first. But then companies actually started lining up to book her, and now, get this, it's not even a month after the season wrapped, and she's already booked again. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
Like Caitlin Clark is headed to Long Island Association, bro. So it stated Long Island Association joined the Long Island Association's president and CEO, Matt Cohen, moderates a special conversation with Caitlin Clark discussing her record-breaking performances, impact, and cultural influence on October the 29th at 10:30 to 12:30 in New York.
So, here's what's happening. Caitlin Clark has just been officially announced as the featured speaker for the Long Island Association's Fall Conference. We're talking Long Island money here. Big money. Old money, golf course money kind of crowd. She'll be sitting down with their president, Matt Cohen, for a special one-on-one conversation. They'll be talking about her record-breaking performances, her massive impact on the game, and how her influence now stretches way beyond basketball. Basically, she's the undeniable face of the sport right now, and trust me,
with working back to full health, Steph mentioned that
this isn't some charity appearance, guys. This is a full-on paid corporate event. Tickets are limited, sponsorships are open, and it's all happening at the Holly Country Club, which, trust me, is not where you hang out if you're broke. So yeah, Caitlin's getting paid. Paid, and paid well. What's crazy, though, is that fans are loving this. But the league's front office, they're panicking. Think about it. When your biggest star can make in one single hour what half your roster earns in an entire month, that's a really bad look. Let's do the math. The average WNBA player makes around $120,000 a year. Caitlin Clark can pull in nearly that much from just one speaking engagement without even breaking a sweat. No fouls, no flagrant hits, no refs missing calls, just clean air conditioning and microphones. Meanwhile, Cathy Engelbert is probably sitting in some boardroom right now, trying to figure out how to stop players from locking out next season. It's the perfect contrast, right? You've got players publicly complaining about league pay, and then Caitlin Clark quietly showing everyone she doesn't even need the league. Now, don't get me wrong, she's not done with basketball. But this move sends a serious message. She's proving that her brand is bigger than the league's brand. And that's what's really scaring people. Because when Caitlin Clark's face alone can sell out arenas, sponsors start asking a very dangerous question. Do we even need the...
You don't lose what you've worked on this season. Just what are your plans for the off season and possibly playing or just doing individual workouts?
Yeah, I mean, probably take a little bit of a break here, just for maybe a week. I don't really want to lose a ton of the stuff I've worked on, and just trying to get my body back to full health. There's some USA basketball stuff I need to get ready for, and you know, I need to be able to find some runs and some ways to play 5-on-5, just so I can kind of get that feel back and. But more than anything, I think my main focus is really just getting my body healthy. And once we get back to 5-on-5, like just being able to test my body and make sure I know it's in a good spot where it's going to be able to hold up with everything that, we think we've corrected or we think we've worked on, to be able to know I'm in a really good spot there. And, when you go through injuries, especially in my scenario where it's been a few of the reoccurring kind of bouncing around, which isn't necessarily uncommon in my situation just because of compensation, and when you're dealing with things in that groin area, that just is kind of how it can go sometimes. I think it's important that you can become confident in your body again, and that's for anybody that goes through injury. So that's probably going to be my main focus is, just feeling 100% again, and then obviously, having that confidence in my body.
This off-season gig isn't just some side hustle, okay? It's a serious power move. Caitlin's showing that she's not waiting around for the WNBA to figure things out. She's out here building her own empire, and you better believe the numbers are massive. Companies pay huge money for speakers like her. You think they're paying less for the most talked about athlete in women's sports? Not a chance. She's basically giving talks, but with a jump shot. Now, the funniest part is watching people online act surprised. Like, come on. This is the same Caitlin Clark who turned college basketball into a national event. The same player whose Iowa games trended higher than NBA Finals highlights, and who sold out every single away arena in her rookie WNBA season. You really thought she was gonna chill all winter? Nah. She's cashing in while everyone else's PR team is still arguing on Twitter. But here's why this actually matters. While Caitlin's setting up speaking tours, the WNBA is drowning in chaos. Nafisa Collier is publicly clashing with the commissioner. Aja Wilson is catching heat over favoritism. And Kathy Engelbert? She's basically in hiding, avoiding interviews like her job depends on it. The league desperately needed a good headline, and Caitlin just handed them one. Except here's the catch. It's not their headline. It's hers. That's the key. She's not letting the WNBA define her off-season. She's defining it herself. And that's something the league can't control, because when a player becomes bigger than the league itself, everything changes. You can't bench her. You can't fine her. You can't silence her. She's got sponsors. She's got media. She's got fans. And now, she's got her own platform. And honestly, it's kind of poetic, right? While other players are still fighting for bigger paychecks, Caitlin's showing them how to create their own. She's turning fame into serious business. She's turning popularity into complete independence. And the WNBA, they have no idea how to handle that, because for years they've relied on keeping their stars inside the system. But Caitlin Clark? She's proving she doesn't need the system to shine. Now, let's be real. Some folks in the media are already spinning this. You'll see headlines like, Caitlin Clark chooses corporate over team unity. Bro, stop it. You can't be mad at someone for being smart. She's not abandoning the sport. She's expanding it. It's not like she's skipping practice to shoot commercials. The season's over. This is literally what the off-season is for. NBA players host camps. NFL players do endorsements. Caitlin's giving speeches and getting paid what she's worth. That's not greed. That's value. And you know who understands that better than anyone? The corporations writing those checks. Because they see what the WNBA sometimes forgets. Caitlin Clark is global. Her fan base isn't just Indiana. It's Iowa, it's the Midwest, it's international. She's got kids in Europe copying her shot mechanics. She's got parents spending hundreds on her jerseys. That's pure power. So when she books a $100,000 speaking gig at a luxury golf club, she's not just getting paid, she's reminding everyone her reach goes way beyond the court. Now let's talk about why this really has the league in a panic. Because whether they admit it or not, the WNBA's success this season was basically a one-woman engine. When Caitlin Clark played, ratings doubled. When she didn't, they dropped. That's not opinion. Those are numbers. And now the season's over. And the WNBA's biggest moneymaker is out doing events that don't even involve them. They can't promote it. They can't profit from it. They can't even claim it. It's Caitlin's world, and they're just living in it. You can tell the panic is real because WNBA media is already trying to downplay it. They're saying stuff like, oh, it's just one event. Yeah, sure, until it turns into 10. Because here's the pattern. Last year, one speaking gig led to 3 more. This year, it'll probably double again. By 2026, Caitlin Clark might make more from her off-season speeches than her entire WNBA salary, and honestly, she deserves it. You can't have one athlete carrying your entire league, taking hits, dealing with jealous players, and still expect her to sit quietly in the off-season. She's taking her piece and her profit. Now let's switch gears for a second. Some people wondered why she didn't join Unrivaled, that player-run off-season league started by Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart. Simple answer, she doesn't need to. Unrivaled is great for players trying to make extra income, but Caitlin's already doing that. Why risk injury in another league when you can earn the same money giving a speech, in heels instead of sneakers? It's business 101. Work smarter, not harder. This move proves Caitlin's not just an athlete, she's a businesswoman. Now some fans say she should use her platform to fight for other players. Bro, she is fighting. By showing them a better playbook, she's showing every young athlete that you can build your own brand, that you don't have to wait for permission. And honestly, that's what terrifies the league most. Because once players realize they don't need the WNBA to make real money, that control is gone. We've seen it before. Shaq did it. Kobe did it. Serena did it. Now Caitlin Clark's doing it her way, and this is just the start. Her Long Island gig isn't just a payday. It's a signal to sponsors that she's wide open for business. Watch what happens next. A new Nike campaign, a Netflix documentary, maybe even her own basketball academy, and every single one of those moves happens outside the WNBA's control. Meanwhile, the league's PR team is busy tweeting about unity and growth. Yeah, unity's great, but growth doesn't pay rent, and Caitlin's not waiting for anyone to hand her a check. She's cashing them herself. Here's what makes it even more poetic. Her Long Island speaking gig happens right before Halloween. You know what else happens that same week? The WNBA's CBA expiration date. Yup. While players and execs argue over contracts, Caitlin Clark will be headlining a luxury business conference in New York. Tell me that's not poetic. The league could literally go into a lockout while their biggest star is speaking about leadership and success to millionaires on a golf course. And you know the press will eat that up. WNBA faces lockout as Caitlin Clark shines outside the league. They'll love that headline. And so will Caitlin's sponsors, because no matter what happens, her value only goes up, she's bulletproof. If there's a lockout, she wins. If there isn't, she comes back richer. Either way, Caitlin Clark stays winning, and that's the part the WNBA just can't handle. Because right now, the league feels one headline away from falling apart. And Caitlin keeps reminding everyone she doesn't need them to keep winning. She doesn't need favoritism, special whistles or fake ratings boosts. She's got something no one else has, universal respect. Even people who don't like her game respect her grind. She's polite, professional, marketable, consistent. She's not out here posting petty comments or starting drama. She's letting her bank account do the talking, and that's why the WNBA's panicking. Because when your biggest star can make the same money without you, everyone starts asking a scary question. What happens if she decides not to come back? Let that sink in. If Caitlin Clark ever took a break or went international, the league's ratings would collapse overnight. And judging by how easily she's getting booked for six-figure speeches, she wouldn't lose a dime. That's power. So yeah, the WNBA's sweating bullets watching Caitlin trend again. Not for basketball, but for business. And the best part? She doesn't even have to say a word. No tweets, no arguments, no statements. She's too busy counting commas. Caitlin Clark just turned her off-season into a business masterclass. While the WNBA's fighting over leadership drama, she's building a legacy that pays, whether she plays or not. Because Caitlin's success doesn't just make money, it makes noise. When she plays, people watch. When she speaks, people listen. When she breathes, someone at ESPN starts typing an article. That's how you know she's reached a level no other WNBA player has. And deep down, that's what really bugs the league. Because instead of headlines saying WNBA reaches new heights, they all say, Caitlin Clark breaks another record.